If you require assistance, please call upon a school official. As a reminder, for the safety of everyone in attendance, only players, coaches, officials, and game personnel are permitted on the playing surface at any time. This includes during play, breaks in the game, and immediately following the game. Thank you for your cooperation. The officials for tonight's game are Bill Tagano and Dave Gabeo. And now for tonight's starting lineup for the visiting Mansfield Hornets. Starting with number 1, junior Darian Sanders. Senior number 3, Gabriel McIntyre. Senior number 4, Thomas Bullock. Sophomore number 20, Casey Connor. And junior number 30, Brody Delone. And the Hornets are coached by Mike Vaughn. And now for your Franklin Commanders, starting sophomore Dave Santos, senior Ben Monica, senior Matt Sullivan, senior Justin Samuel, and senior James Crowley. The Panthers are coached by Mike Masso. Our great nation has preserved through the leadership and sacrifice of men and women who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces. We invite both veterans and current military personnel to stand. We thank you for your service to our country. At this time, would you please all rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Franklin TV's coverage of Franklin High School athletics. Tonight, we come to you from the Franklin High School gymnasium as the Franklin boys are taking on their longtime, forever rival, the Mansfield Hornets. And tonight, I want to welcome in Keegan Hamblett, who will be here with me doing the play-by-play. Keegan, how are you?
Jay, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for asking. Anything you are looking for? You were here the other night when Franklin pulled off the victory against Sharon.
I think the main thing I'm looking for is more of the building of the offense. It was a very low-scoring game against Sharon. 59 points, and we noticed tonight now the curtain is down on the left side. On Friday, it was up. We'll see if that depth perception can change at all. All right, here we go. Panthers in white. The Hornets are in black. Taken up top. This is Jack Sullivan with it. He's defended by Balone. Left side, Skasha driving in, had it knocked away, brings it back out. In the corner, Danny Santos connects right away on a three.
Bingo, Santos. Our referees tonight are Bill Tagano. He's the one farthest from the screen. Down on the right-hand side of the screen is Dave Gibo.
Hornets control. They swing it around to Sanders, who leaves it down low. Shot attempt not going to fall from Balone. Rebound grab. Balone tried to save it, but Santos, the sophomore, will pick it up. Both of these teams are 8-4 on the season. Mansfield's won their last 6. Franklin's won their last 4 and 6 of their last 7. In the corner, Sullivan, defended by the senior, Thomas Villette. The edge of the paint, back to Santos. Sullivan's going to try from a similar spot. In and out that time. Rebound grab by McIntyre. The Hornets push it up quickly. Here's Sanders with it, defended by Santos. They leave it for Balone.
They have always been a real push-it-up offensive team. And then when they get there, if they don't have anything, they pull it out and they start running some of their plays and their screens and cuts.
And the Panthers look like they're going man-to-man right now. Sanders spinning his way. Tough shot up, not in. Batted off to the side. Sullivan tried to get a touch, and he's going to earn a Panther possession here. Deflected it off of Darian Sanders. I got to talk with Coach Masto for the Panthers before the game. He said the main key on defense, protecting that Hornets three-point shot. That's one of their specialties.
Yeah, we've talked about this in the past. That's the way high school basketball and college basketball have become. You drive it to the basket to kick it out for the three-pointer.
Sanders grabs the board that time. Outlet pass is there. Count the basket and one. Thomas Villette, the senior, getting himself open, and he'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play, and the foul is called against Justice Samuels. And they're going to call it against Crowley instead. Let off on the left side. Sullivan, multi-sport athlete. We got to call his name during baseball season last spring.
Yeah.
Skasha poked away, and he'll be out of bounds off of Mansfield, off the hands of Case and Connor.
They got lucky there with that ball knocked away, and Connor just unable to put his hand on it, and it went off him out of bounds.
This is the same starting five that we saw on Friday night, so we're at the point of the year now, over halfway through. They've got that consistent starting five. You're not trying different options out there. Crowley back to Samuels. Justice Samuels lost it, was poked away again, and it went off of his foot and out of bounds. Looked like that was Brody Balone, the junior, on defensive coverage that time.
Yeah, it looked like Justice saw an opening, and that opening closed a little too soon for him.
Corner to Balone. Swung around again. Villette up top. Looked like it was going to be a catch and shoot. Gabe McIntyre instead brings it out to Case and Connor. Connor, the hop step. Back up top, and I don't think it took a deflection.
No.
And there it is. It's one of the key things we've seen over the years that the offense has gotten better at. If it's going to be a backcourt violation, just let it go all the way down.
Well, the only thing is, if you don't touch it till that end line, that's where the throw-in is.
Absolutely.
It's not at half court, and a lot of people don't realize that.
That time it was Sullivan unable to control it. McIntyre to the corner. That's a three, and that time it'll fall down. Brody Balone gives Mansfield their first lead of the night, 5-3, 5:05 to go in quarter number one. Santos leaves it for Sullivan in front of the Hornet bench. Sullivan, another hop step, Balone defending. Santos back to Skasha. Santos back to Samuels. Samuels at the free throw line. That's a nice pass to Skasha. Off the mark, offensive rebound. Here's Sullivan leaving it down low. That was a nice leave off. Unable to convert. It was Crowley loose on the ground. They're going to call jump ball possession to Mansfield.
Yeah.
Good strong possession there from Franklin. A couple good looks, just unable to put it in the bucket.
I find it so interesting, Keegan, the way they drive to the basket to kick it out. They miss a three-pointer and get the offensive rebound, then they'll go for layups.
This is Villette controlling with it off to the right side. Sanders up and in. Three different scores now for Mansfield in this one, not even at the halfway point. New power rankings came out this morning. Franklin's number 29 in Division I. That's 3 spots higher than Friday's ranking. Mansfield comes in number 8 in Division II, as that's out of bounds off of Franklin. And our first of the game will be Matt Gustauskas.
For those that remember back to the old system when we had sections south, north, central, and western Mass, Franklin and Mansfield were always at the top.
And you know what? Even if you don't come away with it, that strength of schedule, those points are going to go up tonight.
Yeah, they didn't used to include that. And it's interesting, too, to see all the Hockomock schools that are now Division II and Division III.
That's Balone cross court. Sanders open again. A little bit strong that time. Balone down low, and it's blocked by Santos. Picked up by Crowley, and Santos will bring it up himself. The only non-senior in the starting five for the Franklin Panthers. Danny Santos, 6'5" forward. Skasha's open for three on the right wing side. A little bit too strong that time. Sanders, his second rebound. Quick pass ahead, and unable to finish it was Villette. Samuels pushing it up quickly to the cup.
And he gets fouled.
And out, yep.
Yeah.
Gutauskas, I think, is going to get whistled for, the junior who just came on, and he will.
So he'll shoot 2 here.
Good crowd making their way here to Franklin High School. This is Coaches vs. Cancer Night. Always great to support the Nick Strong Foundation and all the money that's being raised tonight.
It actually is, it's tonight, but it's also an entire week where schools will do fundraising, officials will do fundraising, and donate it all to cancer.
The sub coming in from Mansfield was the senior Tom Muldoon. Samuels 0 for 2 at the line. Villette grabs the board. Rebounds so far even at 6 apiece.
And I wonder, Keegan, if Justice is, as there's a score there, Justice may be pushing himself a little bit. You know, he seems to be a little frustrated and made some uncharacteristically mistakes.
Sullivan's going to get called here for an offensive foul. You saw the signal right away. Only the second team foul against Franklin. Mansfield's only gotten called for the one which was against Gutauskas. And the Panthers are going to use a timeout as they trail by 6, 9-3 with 2:36 to go in the first quarter. I mean, what's got to change so far? I know we're only 5.5 minutes in, but just seems right now that the offense isn't holding up and as strong as we saw the other night.
No, they're not, Keegan, and you know, they're, from what I've seen the last several games so far tonight, like you said, still very early, they're seeming to have to work harder for better shots that maybe in the past they wouldn't. And so far, they're not as accurate. They're taking more and more shots, I think, on each possession than they're used to.
Well, we just said it a second ago. The rebounds are even apiece. 6 for the Panthers, 6 for the Hornets. We saw Franklin, at least 2 or 3 of those had to have been offensive rebounds and putbacks. You had Crowley getting some, Samuels getting some, even Sullivan down low as well.
Yeah, but Mansfield's their rebounds have led to points where Franklin's has not.
Got to talk with Mansfield head coach Mike Vaughn before the game, a legend as we were talking about it. You were joking around that he'll be the first to tell you that. He said the main keys for his team: playing good defense, efficiency on the offensive side, and neutralizing the Panthers on the defensive side.
Coach Vaughn has been at Mansfield forever, and he's done a tremendous job. They always have a winning program, as that's a shot Samuel's got a hand on. But he does have one state title, and for him, I'm sure it's a little bit sweeter because that state title came against Franklin.
The last 2 years, Mansfield has made it to the Elite Eight in the Division II side. Last year was a tough one. They were a 2 seed, and they lost to the 7 seed at home in the Elite Eight. That was Masco, and there's a nice layup there. James Crowley on the board makes it 9-5 in favor of Mansfield, under 2 to go. He'll be brought up by Tom Muldoon, starting 5, still out there for the Franklin side. Muldoon to the right, that's Balone leaving it in the corner. Villette up top, Sanders receiving it, the kick out, faking it, Villette lost it, gets back to it. That's a nice pass over, that's Balone, short, rebound Skasha. Skasha tried to push it up ahead quickly, taking over is Gutauskas. Villette right side now, that's Muldoon back over. I'm telling you, these Hornets, Jay, they're doing great with these cross-court passes. Nice layup down low, that's gonna be another and one. Darian Sanders going up high. And Crowley gets called for another foul. That'll be his second. They got to sub him out. Gio Carlucci will come in for the Panthers. They're going to make a number 1-2 with Kyle Batla. Carlucci, the sophomore, Batla, the junior. Won't fall on the free throw attempt. Grabbing that board is Sullivan, who's already got 4 rebounds. This is Santos, left side. Carlucci to Sullivan. And nice to have Jack Sullivan and Coach Masto on my channel for a little post-game show following Friday's game against Sharon. Did it right on the court. It was nice to have that. Samuels lost it. Here comes an odd man counter the other way. Gutowskis will hold it up with 50 seconds. It's about a 19-second difference between shot clock and game clock, and they didn't use all of it. Sullivan grabs the miss off of Muldoon, and he tried to dish it over right side to Batla. It goes out of play. And more subs coming in. McIntyre is back in for the Hornets, and Nash Johnson in for the Panthers.
Yeah, that pass just unable to be handled there by Batla.
And almost went back to your point. Just felt like it was a little bit rushed trying to go up the court.
Yeah.
That's Gutowskis playing it to the left side, receiving it. Lasbury Casey, he goes up and in. Senior Troy Lasbury Casey on the board. That's 4 different scores now for the Hornets.
No shot clock anymore, as we're under 20 now.
Johnson will use the dribble, try to make a crossover on Muldoon. Everybody clapping in his face along the Hornets bench with 8 seconds. Santos gonna have to do something quickly. Steps back, looks to go down
nice
low,
pass.
and putting it up and in is Nash Johnson. That's a great way to end the first quarter. 13-7 is the score. Mansfield over Franklin through 8 minutes of play, and that's gonna feel good to have one of your bench players in Nash Johnson getting on the board as soon as the clock hits 0.
Yeah, it's a great way for the quarter to end, maybe get a little of that momentum away from Mansfield and on your side.
Cheerleaders always doing their usual performances during the timeouts, end of the quarters. You got a whole bunch of them that are down there. Looks like 11 total cheerleaders that are here tonight. Franklin's one of the best in the state.
Yeah, they have won the state championship several times.
I don't believe we had this deficit in the last game against Sharon. It felt like it was within 5 points the whole way in that one. And the JV game before this ended up being pretty good. Franklin was up by 12, I believe, with just a couple minutes left, and Mansfield got it within 1.
Yeah.
And they had a foul call with .1 on the
right,
clock.
right.
Then the final heave attempt hit the scoreboard up top. It's one of the downfalls of having a scoreboard all the way up at center court, but it looks beautiful. You get it from all angles.
You know, a lot of schools are starting to do that, newly constructed schools. Most of them, though, don't have it on an angle like this.
It's good to have, too, because Franklin, I feel like, always has some of the best attendance numbers across the state for high school basketball, so it's always good to have that in here. Second quarter underway. It's Skasha controlling for the Panthers. Bounce pass down low. It's Carlucci. Carlucci brings it back out, wants to restart on that left side, spinning his way over to Skasha. Skasha trying to get by 2 Hornets. Nice shot, won't fall, and it's going to be blocked out of play, maybe off of Johnson. Had to wonder for a second if they were going to call an over the back on that one, as it looked like it was just being knocked down from up high.
Nice defense there. Coming up
that was
court.
Skasha.
Yeah.
That's another 3 from the Hornets. A little bit too strong that time. Skasha had it. Poked out of play off the hands of Muldoon.
(13-7) our score here.
I mentioned 4 different scores for the Hornets, 3 different scores for the Panthers so far in this one. That last game against Sharon didn't have many bench points at all on that. Here's Crowley with it. Leaves it, driving in is Johnson. Back out to Skasha in the corner. 17 to shoot. Carlucci again up top. Skasha finds himself open, and he buries it. Ben Skasha, nice catch and shoot there. Makes it a 1-possession game again.
Well, when you're looking for 3-pointers over 2-pointers, it is much easier to cut that deficit.
The edge of the paint now was Muldoon. He brings it back out. McIntyre lost the dribble, picks it up. McIntyre had it poked away, gets back to it on Batla. And a foul's going to be called here. It's going to be on the floor.
Yeah, that's going to be on Batla block.
Nobody in real foul trouble just yet, as you're going to have Sullivan and Samuels coming back into the game for Johnson and Battle. But good work out there by the bench early on from the Panthers.
Yeah.
On the inbound is going to be McIntyre. He'll go to his left to corner. It's going to be another catch and shoot three. Can't respond that time. It's going to be off of Sullivan. But a Hornet touched it last, maybe off of McIntyre.
That three was probably 6-8 feet behind
Yeah.
the three-point line.
Panthers with 2 threes already, and that matches their total in the last game. I believe they went 2 of 12 from 3 in the game against Sharon, so it's good to see the shots falling early on in this one. Skasha to the top to Sullivan, over to Samuels, one of the few returners from last year's team. Skasha, low crossover, spin move in the paint, tried to get it to Samuels on the ground. He picks it up, and he got blocked up high, but they called the foul.
They called the foul on Connor there, hitting him in the arm while Samuels was trying to shoot, so he'll shoot 2.
Maybe it was on the body contact and not the actual block
May have
that
been,
time.
yeah. Hard to see the body from this. We're on the opposite side of that call.
Samuels can't hit the first. Free throws struggling already here in the first half. Santos back in for Franklin. I'll send Ben Skasha to the bench. Second one from Samuel, short again.
Yes, Justice just seems a little uncomfortable. And now you could see him a little bit in the body language. He's frustrated with himself.
He was defending Kaysen Connor that time, and now it's Balone going across. And it did not take a touch off of Jack Sullivan. It'll be Panthers ball. 5:47 to go in the second, 13-10 Mansfield ahead of Franklin. 2 subs going to come in for the Hornets. 2 starters, Villette and Sanders. Muldoon and Lasbury Casey go off to the side. It's Santos with it. Still in man-to-man on both sides of the ball. Sullivan, the one-hand pass. Here's Crowley. Crowley looking to dish it out, needs help, and he turned it over, looking to find Santos, pushing it up ahead as Villette. Holds it up, brings it out to Sanders, across.
Nice
and that
steal.
one's stolen. It's going to be a 2-on-1 attack. Sullivan, step, puts it up, off the glass and in. Nice work by Jack Sullivan. The deficit's down to 1.
Yeah.
Nice little run here for the Panthers. It's a 7-0 run. Going back over the last 3 minutes, 15 seconds.
Another steal.
Yeah, they got some momentum now. Sullivan dribbled it off himself and out of play, and he's going to want that one back.
But Keegan, they seem to be creating that momentum down at the defensive end. They're not. It's not necessarily coming from lights out shooting. They're creating right now their opportunities defensively.
Balone controlling. Gutauskas who's back on. Nice pass, right corner. That's Balone. Off the back iron, up in the air. Offensive rebound for Sanders. Trying to go up with it, and he does. Nice strong move by the junior. Sanders is up to 6 points. Carlucci leaves it. Santos fakes it. Going along the baseline, batted out of bounds by Brody Balone.
Good idea there by Santos, trying to get it over into the far corner and try to get it to Sullivan, who so far seems to be the hottest hand for the Panthers.
Erratic pass here. Thomas Villette going all the way for the slam. Nice two-hand jam that time by Villette. He's also up to 6 points. You know what? We got height on both sides. That might not be the last time we see a dunk in this one.
No.
That's Carlucci driving in the kick out. Santos a 3. He answers right back. That's a nice response there by the Panthers. Sanders going back to the left side. Gutauskas over to Balone. Off. Sullivan the board. Jack Sullivan doing really well on the rebound so far.
Oh, that was a nice block there by Balone.
Yeah, Carlucci was trying to go up with it. Nice behind the back dribble there by McIntyre. Gutauskas right side for Sanders. In the paint, Villette, the kick out. That's a 3. He knocks it down.
Nice shot.
Makatauskas.
Lead back up to 5.
Still 3:15 to go in half. Number one team foul on either side. Mansfield hasn't used the timeout. Dish down low. Close to a travel. Falling on the ground was Gatauskas. Balone leaves it. Hop step. Swung around the horn yet again. Balone was open. Brings it out. Sanders in the paint. Tough shot. Wouldn't fall that time.
You see a lot of similarities in the way both teams play.
It's similar shots, similar defensive styles.
The coaching staffs, the current coaching staffs have all come from a long line of Mansfield, Franklin coaches going back to, at least here in Franklin, to Coach Dean O'Connor, who's down at Bishop Fia now. But a lot of these current coaches got their start either under Mike Vaughn or under Dean O'Connor.
It's always good to have those connections, too,
Yeah.
because you're going to see those similar play styles as that last foul was called against Danny Santos, his first, team second. But then you'll start seeing the consistency. There might be some changes out there, but overall it's going to lead to success.
On the Mansfield bench, you've got one of the assistants, Bobby Intrino, who could be a varsity coach anywhere else. He played for Vaughn at Mansfield. Longtime coach Bruce Bach, who's been there. And Ryan Gordy, who used to be the Canton High coach and is now on the staff of his alma mater.
That's Dan Kaiser's crew. He's a great coach over at Franklin. Rebound grab that time by Lasbury Casey.
Franklin has 3 coaches on their staff with varsity experience. Obviously Mike Masto, but also assistant Ryan Sheehan, coached at Severian the last 4 or 5 years. And Coach Herb Grace was at Medfield, I think since roughly the beginning of time.
Got to talk to Masto a little bit on Friday. He's been involved with pretty much almost every single level of basketball here at Franklin High.
And in the town, he's also been involved in other sports.
Back rim that time by Sullivan, close to the end line, and it does go out off of the Hornets. Johnson's going to come back in.
1:10 left.
And Balone returns. Balone's got 3 points, 2 rebounds. Johnson had the 1 bucket at the end of the first quarter. 1:10 to go here in quarter number 2. Franklin still trailing by 5, 20-15. Sullivan looked to find Santos, and it got batted off of Lasbury Casey. Now, one notable player that we haven't seen yet, I don't know if he's hurt today, but for the Mansfield side, Justin Curtis, who's a regular starter. He's a senior. We have not seen him yet, and I don't see him in uniform along the bench.
They have 3 guys at the end of the bench that appear to be injured or didn't suit up for some reason.
I was going to say, Curtis has been a starter since his sophomore year. An offensive rebound here by Batla. Batla spinning his way over Danny Santos off the glass.
Nice
He's up
shot.
to 8.
Santos.
Danny Santos really coming alive here in the first half. Leads everybody overall in this game in points. Get about 15 seconds here between shot clock and game clock. Kaysen Connor off on the right side, fighting for that offensive rebound and getting it. Was Muldoon, but it's out of bounds by Balone, and the shot clock will go off as Johnson's going to return.
Couple of subs coming in for the last 30 seconds here.
Well, Jay, if you're the Franklin Panthers, you got pretty much 30 seconds to work with. You can hold for the last shot. What are you drawing up here?
Well, I think just keep what they've been doing this quarter. They seem to be running their offense a little bit better. They're within a basket.
Hornets just all over them defensively, though. 10 seconds to shoot. Santos going to have to start going to the cup soon. Santos driving left side, step back 3, can't knock it down, and it's going to go out of play as the horn goes for halftime. Mansfield in front of Franklin, 20-17. Hornets leading scorers, tied with 6 of them, Villette and Sanders. Santos leads the way for Franklin with 8. Jack Sullivan, 6 rebounds. Scasha with 4 boards, leading rebounder on the Mansfield side. Darian Sanders. Jay, overall, you got to feel good if you're both sides. These are pretty much evenly matched teams, and you got to feel good going into the halftime with a 1-possession game.
Well, you always feel good when the kids are coming out here to play. So, yeah, it was a good half. Didn't do anything, either team didn't do anything to hurt themselves. So that's good.
What do you think the talk's going to be in the locker room from Coach Masto going into half number 2? What do you want to see maybe stay the same or change on the Franklin side?
Clear up the mistakes. You know, take open shots, not contested, work the ball around. Maybe start going to the basket a little bit so it will open things up. But who knows?
Still got 16 minutes of game time. It doesn't have to come right away, you know? All right, that's going to do it for the first half of our coverage here on Franklin Pride TV. Camera operator Chris Flynn's going to send us to a break. We'll be back for half number 2 in about 8 to 9 minutes, so stick with us on Franklin Pride TV. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're about ready to start the second half inside Franklin High School here in Franklin, Massachusetts, of tonight's Hockomock League boys basketball game between the visiting Mansfield Hornets and our very own Franklin Panthers. It's Mansfield on top of Franklin, 20-17 with 16 minutes to go in regulation. We thank you for joining us on any of our feeds, including our YouTube live stream on Franklin Pride TV. Keegan Hambler with Jay Horrigan on commentary, Chris Flynn running the camera. Jay, we get a one-possession game yet again at halftime. We talked about before the halftime break what Franklin should be doing just to improve a little bit. We were talking about being more careful with the ball, limiting the turnovers. What do you think's working for Mansfield right now? Why do they have that three-point lead? Well, I think they've got more inside shots that have helped open up the outside shots. Now, let's be realistic. The score's only 20-17. It's not like we've seen scoring go out of control. This does remind me of an old 20 years ago Hockomock League battle between these two teams. Mansfield gets the scoring quickly in half number 2 with Thomas Villette going up. He's up to 8 points. Crowley with the hang, not going to fall. Villette's second rebound. Pushes it ahead quickly to Gabe McIntyre. Receiving it in the right corner is Kason Connor. Driving in, going up high, not getting it to fall was McIntyre, and Crowley's got a rebound. I think the defense there helped misdirect that shot. Had to throw it up a little higher than he had planned off the backboard. Santos, the fall away is short. Santos with a nudge out of play, and they're going to say that it's Mansfield ball here.
Yeah,
no foul.
It looked like the Mansfield player was airborne, and he threw it off Danny, and Danny happened to be stepping out of bounds.
Another thing to note, too, is the Franklin Panthers, they got a lot of height they can use. We've seen them take a lot of outside shots, maybe some mid-ranges. We'll see if they're going to drive to the paint just a little bit more here in the second half. Yeah, I want to see if the coaches talk to the players about that. That's going to go against Justice. Sanders going to go to the line here for Mansfield. Samuels brought his arm down a little bit. Haven't had that many fouls in the game. That's the first on Samuels. You've had 6 total fouls called against the Panthers, only 2 called against the Hornets. First free throw won't fall here for Darian Sanders. 6 points, 4 rebounds for him. I think statistically, if you were to look over the last several years, Franklin normally will have at the end of the season one of the higher foul counts because they are so aggressive. Santos up, his team trailing by 6, can't bank it in, ball batted in the air, and it's grabbed by Mansfield and Villette. On the right side, driving in and getting the layup to go nicely to build the lead up to 8 is Brody Ballone. That was nice defense there. Mansfield's got the first 5 points here in quarter number 3. Short jumper well off the mark that time from Crowley. Back to the right side. Ballone's going to try a triple. He hits it. Brody Ballone from 3. The lead's up to 11 for Mansfield. Timeout Franklin with 6:05 to go. Yeah, as soon as that ball went up in the air, that shot went up in the air, you could see Coach Masto signaling for the timeout because he needs to talk to his team. They're down 11 now, and I'm going to say they're not doing totally what they talked about at halftime. Because this is, it's going the wrong way, not the right way. 2 minutes in, and Franklin hasn't scored. It's 8-0, just about 2 minutes in. So for Franklin, that's the second timeout they've used. They still got 3 remaining. Yeah. Mansfield's held on to all 5 so far. But this is going to be one of the games where you're not going to have to get everything right away. You're going to have to slowly chip at it from this deficit that's now 4 possessions at 11 points. Once again, a great crowd making their way here to Franklin High School, and it's Coaches versus Cancer Night, and they're going to be doing that all week long. So if anybody at home, you find the link to donate, make sure you donate, because it's a great cause that it's all going to. Yes, it is. Santos will bring it up here after Samuels had the inbound. We'll see if Justice Samuels can get going here. Crowley fakes it to Skasha. Samuels calling for it on the corner, waiting for a cut by Sullivan, and Samuels is going to receive it. Brings it back against corner, up top to Santos. Skasha, nice move, step back. Samuels back to Skasha, left wing side, 10 to shoot. Skasha driving in, tough shot, can't fall. Rebound batted, and Santos had it, but they're going to call a jump. It'll stay with the Panthers. And good work by the sophomore, Danny Santos, to at least keep the possession going for a little bit longer. He's battling with Darian Sanders. Santos going to take the inbound here. Looking to the left side. Go short to Samuels. Up top, Sullivan. Step, left side, blocked out of play by Balone. It'll stay with Franklin. Nice drive there, though, by Sullivan.
Yeah, you could see his frustration at the end. He thought he got fouled and looked at the referee to no avail.
I think Balone thought it was Mansfield's ball, too. Sullivan up top. Here's Crowley to Samuels. Santos looking, still has a dribble. We'll go to Crowley in the corner, and a timeout is going to be used once again. 5:13 to go in the third quarter. I think Franklin just used another one.
They did, and that'll leave them with 2.
It's 2 quick ones. You usually don't see it being burned like that, so something's not working for Mastro and his crew.
There was something Mike saw that clearly wasn't what he had instructed or what he wanted them to do, and quickly called that timeout in the middle of a possession. You don't see that often.
And it wasn't even like a possession where you're being double-teamed, you're at 3 or 4 seconds where you've held the ball, or else it's going to be a 5-second turnover. It wasn't one of those possessions.
Well, the only thing I noticed is there's 13 seconds left on the shot clock. The last 15 seconds, when they kept the ball after the call for the held ball, they all Franklin did was work it around the arc for 15 seconds or so.
That's a good quick inbound. Sullivan leaves it for Skasha. Shot clock down to 10. Santos drifting to the left side, trying to make a move on Sanders.
There
off
we
the glass
go.
And in. There you go. Santos, first player in double digits in scoring with 10, 28-19 now in favor of Mansfield. Balone left side. Here's McIntyre up top. Balone back. McIntyre pressured by Sullivan. Backs off. Balone receives it again. Sanders up high. Offensive rebound will fall.
Nice job following his own shot there by Sanders.
Lead back up to 11 here. Skash up top to Santos. Sullivan controlling, has Santos up top. That's where he goes. Samuels has himself open. Down low to Crowley.
Mansfield doing a great job when a player is cutting.
And
Franklin's
it was just a quick double team.
Yeah.
There you go, Jack Sullivan. Can't finish it.
Well, that was a good look, but it was a tough shot, his ankle. And Mansfield comes back to the other one and puts it in for 2.
Villette scores the bucket. You had Crowley trying to draw an offensive foul there. Crowley's got 2 points, 2 rebounds. Sullivan, nice dish. Crowley wants to respond on the other side. He got it to go, and the foul. And they got the foul against Villette, it looks like.
Yeah, that was on 4.
Subs coming in either side. 1 for Franklin, 2 for Mansfield. Crowley looking to complete another 3-point play. Free throws have been a little bit of a struggle for the Panthers over the last game and a half. He gets that one to fall. Makes it 32-22. There's Balone. Wanted to go down low to McIntyre. It was going to be tough to fit it in there. Catch and shoot 3. Back iron. Rebound Santos. And get some of that momentum that we were just talking about.
Nice
Batla, nice feed down low. Putting it in is Crowley. He's starting to come alive.
Batla with just great court vision. Saw the player cutting and was able to put it right on the money.
So that's 5 straight here for Franklin. Mansfield lead down to 8. Gutauskas back out. It's Sanders with it. Over to Lasbury Casey. Balone driving in the middle. Holds it up. Santos defending. Lasbury Casey back to the outside. And putting that layup in, Gutowskis was up to 5. Gutowskis has done a nice job off the bench. Mansfield's got 7 bench points in this one. Sullivan to Crowley. Back up top to Santos, a nice reach
save.
to grab it.
Yeah.
That's that wingspan that always comes into effect. Samuels driving in all the way, lost the ball on the ground, picked up by Balone. Outlet pass, batted, Santos takes over. Santos looking to bring it down on the left wing side.
Yeah, he didn't have numbers there.
Sullivan a 3, can't hit, up in the air, offensive rebound, grabbed by Batla. Batla the kick out, Santos another try. Can't hit that time. Batla chases it. He's got another rebound.
Oh, nice pass by Samuels.
And unable to finish it was Sullivan, and he throws it right off of a Hornets player on McIntyre, so they'll keep possession. That possession, give credit to Batla twice, keeping it alive.
Yeah, we saw a couple of just really nice passes. The Franklin players finding the open player.
Carlucci's in here for the Panthers. Sullivan sees a lane on the right, short, and there's a foul called.
Coach Vaughn had been trying to call timeout, and the referees didn't notice.
Troy Lasbury Casey gets whistled. A senior who came off the bench today. 6 seniors on this Mansfield roster. Jack Sullivan back rims the first one. Batla's going to come back into the game. They just wanted to get him out real quick. Santos will come off, yeah. Danny Santos on Friday had a big shot. It was a 3 that he hit right in the right corner, and that got a lot of that momentum going in that overtime for Franklin. Team still trailing by 9 here, 2 minutes to go in the third. Batla falls down. 3 goes up, was off the backboard, couldn't fall. Offensive rebound, Gutowskis. Balone, crossover, kick out. That's a cross-court pass over to Muldoon. Muldoon driving on Sullivan. Ball up for grabs. Crowley will pick it up. It was going to be close to a jump ball. Possession error would have been to Mansfield.
Yeah, good job by the defense.
Samuels a kick out. That's a 3. They can't get it. Offensive rebound, Crowley. Crowley back to Sullivan in the corner. Batla. Sullivan going to reset. Samuels with a minute 20 over to Crowley. Crowley back to Batla. Batla battling for him. They got the jump ball just in time, so Mansfield's going to get possession. I'm going to sub back in Sanders here.
Yeah.
Great work to force that tie-up, too.
1:14 left in the third quarter.
It'll be inbounded by McIntyre. Goes over the head to Sanders. Sanders to the corner. Won't fall that time. Samuels, his second rebound, quickly turned over, brought right back out. Balone in the middle. Shot's good for Gabe McIntyre. He's on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Samuels yet to score one. Sullivan up top to him.
Just watch how aggressive that Hornet defense is. It makes it hard for Franklin to get anything they really want, and then keeps adding to the frustration of the players.
Batla to Sullivan. About 18 seconds between shot and game. Samuels, a tough shot, got blocked in the middle.
Did get blocked.
Grabbing it, Sanders, pushing it ahead quickly. There's another slam for Thomas Villette. That's the second one.
Remember, Franklin only has 2 timeouts left, so they're certainly not going to use one here where the quarter's just about to end.
Yeah, you got to survive the next 10 seconds. Don't want to go down anymore. As Batla controlling it with 5. Batla, and then it's going to be a whistle and a foul called here.
They're going to bring Santos back in. Hoping he can get a shot. No one, Keegan, for the Panthers has really stood out offensively. They may have a bit, a couple of trips up and down the court where they play well.
Santos receives it with 3. He's going to have to put one up at the buzzer. It's going to be short. They can't get a follow-up there from Crowley. All right, 8 minutes to go in regulation. Mansfield on top of Franklin, 38-25 through 3 quarters of play as the cheerleaders come back out onto the court. Jay, as you mentioned, nobody's really standing out for the Panthers on offenses. Danny Santos, he's got 10 points. He's leading the way. Crowley's got 7, but you got to find that X factor. You got to find somebody to keep it going and keep it going consistently.
Yeah, they're going to have to quickly, when this quarter starts, see who's going to be that offensive spark plug. Is it going to be Santos? Like you said, he's got 10 points, which if you look that Franklin only has 25, that's pretty good. But they've been relatively quiet 10 points. You're always looking for that basket that'll end a run that Mansfield's on or, cut the lead to something. Right now, they're kind of in limbo, going back and forth. Cutting it close, then going back down. Now they're down 13.
Well, the most important thing right now, you talk about cutting the lead. The cap off for the power rankings is now at 6 this year. It used to be 10. Now it's at 6 for the win margin. So I think that's going to be the number one goal, to start out with that. Get it to under 6 to help out your rankings and standings any way you can. But it's all about momentum at the start. Franklin's going to get the ball here to start the 4th quarter here.
Well, the reality is, too, you're dealing with high school students who are 15 to 18 years old.
Yeah.
They're going to have good nights. They're going to have bad nights. They're going to have good and bad nights in the same night.
You know what? You're going up a team who's probably the hottest right now in the Hockomock. 6 straight wins for the Mansfield Hornets. They've really turned it around over the last 2 to 3 weeks after a 2-4 start. Samuels, a nice pass down low. Putting that in is Crowley.
See, if Samuels doesn't feel like he's helping out scoring, that's something he can do. Draw defenders and then make a nice pass to an open cutter.
Gutauskas, right side. That's McIntyre up top. Malone leaves it in the corner. Gutauskas back out. 15 to shoot here. McIntyre, defended by Sullivan. Goes back to Malone. Malone, Gutauskas defended by Samuels. Got the arm in there to poke it away. Down to 5. Sanders going to have to do something quickly. Taken over by Sullivan. Sullivan, 1-on-2 to the cup. That's 4 straight points here by Franklin. And just like that, Jay, back down to 9.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep it going here.
Malone, defended by Santos, able to get it away to the left side, faking it Villette. Villette driving in on Crowley. Stops at the stripe. Malone back, Villette up top. Gutauskas, Samuels with the hands in the air. Malone, the one-hand pass over. Here's Villette driving in. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
It'll be the second on Villette.
Yeah, he did. It looked like when Villette went to the basket, his shoulder hit right in the middle of the shoulder blades, right dead center in the chest, which makes that call a no-brainer.
Yeah, you saw Villette. He wanted to draw that contact, and you saw James Crowley down there. He was trying to draw that offensive foul right away. And get a little wet spot on the floor, so Crowley's going to have to sweep it off real quick.
Years ago, when this rivalry was really taking off, both these teams, Franklin and Mansfield, were known for taking charges. One of the coaches that's on Mansfield's bench was here back then, and that would be the first thing kids would have to do at tryouts, see if they could take a charge.
Franklin back with possession of the ball. It's Skasha to Samuels. Santos had Crowley. Will go up top to Sullivan. Sullivan driving left side over to Samuels. Samuels back to Skasha. Crowley leaves it. Santos wanted to pull one. Santos pulls up inside. Short. And rebound grab by Brody Malone. Villette leaves it. Malone a 3. Won't fall. Santos another rebound.
Lead is still 9, under 6 minutes.
And Skasha lost it. Might have been poked away. Now they get a run back because Malone's open down the court on the right side. Can he save it? No, he can't.
And now Franklin has numbers.
Sullivan driving in, looking to go all the way. And the
That's,
foul's going to be called on the floor.
yeah, that's, I think, going to go against Gutaskas. Sure, I'm mispronouncing that.
Let's see, we're waiting for them to officially put it on the board. Yep, Matis Gutauskas, his third foul. Second on the team, but they do say it is in the act of shooting. Originally, they said on the floor. So it is going to put Jack Sullivan to the line here, and the first one's good. In comes Tom Muldoon.
One thing that's been lacking is, for both teams, is free throw accuracy tonight.
Sullivan knocks down both. A 7-point game with 5:40 to go. You felt it in the gym. The crowd's starting to get a little bit into it. We got a lot of folks up here on the walking track with us, especially cross-court diagonally. But that's what you want. This is why you love playing at home. You got to get the crowd and the energy back in your favor. Dribbled off of a foot. Sullivan takes over. He's with Crowley. Sullivan up high. He got it to go.
Geez, I thought that was going to be a foul back here. The player, Mansfield player on the ground, kind of reached up. Looked like he may have grabbed Santos.
He left off of it just a little bit. Now Villette with a 5-point lead for Mansfield. Driving in, still going. Off the boards, no good. Rebound Samuels. Franklin can make it a one-possession game. Santos holding it up. No rushing needed at all.
Now you can play your game. Hopefully you're in your game. And things might come a little smoother. As smooth as they can come against Mansfield.
Santos receives it from Sullivan. 10 to shoot. Skasha picks it up. Driving in. Santos a three. Short. Offensive rebound. Skasha going up for a jump ball. Possessions to Mansfield. And they're going to bring in a sub here. Gabriel McIntyre back into the game. And Kyle Batla going to return here for Franklin. Santos will go off to the side. That's just to give Santos some rest so they can bring him back in, say, after maybe Coach Vaughn uses a timeout. If he decides to use one. He hasn't used one yet. No. Feed down low is not going to connect. It's going to be Franklin ball. Villette was looking.
I remember years ago the one thing, there we go, there's a timeout. You could always count on Coach Vaughn to use all 5 of them. He was not taking any of them home. He was going to use them.
So the timeout is called with 4:18 to go here in the fourth quarter. 38-33, Mansfield over Franklin. You knew it was going to be a good close one coming down to the end. It didn't look like it was going to be that way at the start of the fourth quarter, but it's turning out to be something here.
Yeah. I wonder prior to the game what Mike Masto was thinking, because he's been around as long as this rivalry has, because he used to be an administrator during games before he started coaching. So he has seen this place just rocking during a Mansfield game.
Next game coming up for the Franklin Panthers. I mean, this one's a big rivalry. Again, another big one coming up on Friday as the boys team's going to be at King Philip with the 6:30 tip-off for the varsity team.
Yeah, Coach Dave DiStefano over there at KP, great guy, great coach. Another one of this whole conglomerate of coaches where a lot of the Franklin coaches are involved with Take Charge, the club. Mike Vaughn, I'm sure everybody is aware, but if not, he is the general manager down at Mass Premier.
Yes.
And he runs that whole AAU program.
Here's the kick out to Crowley as we're out of the timeout.
Justice was open underneath. Couldn't get him the ball.
Yeah, he was calling for it.
Yeah.
Santos back. Skasha defended by McIntyre. Up top, Sullivan into the corner. Crowley fakes the three. Drives in. 7 to shoot. Brings it back out. Skasha driving in. Left side. Foul called. He's going to the line for 2. I think they got Case and Corner on it. And that's a third on the team.
Yeah.
Ben Skasha, 3 points, 4 rebounds for him tonight. 2 big ones to try to make it a one-possession game. Back rims the first. There comes Basektball back in. They break from the huddle that they were doing during the first free throw. Samuels and Crowley will go down to try to grab a potential miss here. Skasha, more importantly, trying to split his pair, which he does.
Cuts it to 4, under 4 left.
And what a game this is turning out to be. And it looked like a travel here. They don't get it from McIntyre as Balone goes to the right side. Villette, defended by Crowley, in the corner, gets it down low. Foul's going to be called.
It's on Sullivan, I think.
Yep, they got the whistle on Sullivan. That'll be a second. Only the first, which that's good on the Franklin side. You use one of them right now because there might be a situation later on where you're going to have to play the foul game.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste too much time doing that if it comes down to that. Quick inbound. It's going to be picked up by Franklin and Santos. They were trying to go to Villette.
Yeah.
Pushed ahead quickly. Skasha to Sullivan, a 3. Won't fall. Samuel's trying to grab it. Walked out by the Hornets. Gutowskis leaves it short, putting it in. Thomas Villette, he's up to 14.
Lead now 6.
3:10 to go in this one. Santos at the top, over to Samuels. Santos receives again, receives a pick from Crowley. Santos for 2, short. Rebound here for the Hornets and Sanders.
They just, at least so far, not a lot of time left. They just are not on, they're not feeling their shots tonight, Keegan.
Villette down low, Sanders up and in. Darian Sanders, good run coming here from the Hornets. That's 4 straight, the lead's back up to 8. Sullivan driving in on Balone. Whistle fouled.
Yeah.
Coach Masto's going to use a timeout here for Franklin, so he'll have 1 left.
Yeah.
Last foul was called against Brody Balone, his first, team's 4th. This is going to be a big possession coming up here for the Panthers out of the timeouts. They'll have a fresh 35 on the shot clock.
Hey, while we've got a moment, I just want to encourage people that if you enjoy any of this, high school sports, any high school athletics, whatever, we're always looking for volunteers. If you're tired of listening to me, which I'm sure many of you are, we're always looking for people behind the mic, behind the camera. If you want to do a podcast, whatever, just go to franklin.tv and there's a contact us page, and either Pete Fasciano or Chris Flynn will get back in touch with you. Would love to have you around.
I'll second that on that one, too. I've been here probably 4 or 5 games volunteering, and it's always fun coming back every single time.
Yeah, Keegan did a lot of work. Last year, he actually, before the Franklin Boys State Final, he did the TV for Somerset Berkeley, where they won their state final. And he's got a nice ring on his finger to show for that.
Yeah, you got one somewhere, too.
I do.
We got to get a picture of that at some point. All right, here we go out of the timeout. Jack Sullivan's going to inbound it here along the baseline. He's going to have Santos to his right. That's where he goes. Won't shoot it right away. Crowley calling for a switch. Justice Samuels wants to create some space. Left side, Samuels up, a lot of contact, and it's going to be taken over here by the Hornets. Sullivan can't grab it back. Sanders to the left, and Mansfield's going to hold it up here. Won't attack unless they saw a lane, which Villette saw for a moment.
Yeah, they're just going to eat clock here, and you can't blame them.
On the left, it's Sanders up top, driving in Gutowskis, double teamed, open man, down low, blocked, but a foul. Let's see, they might have gotten on Samuels or Santos. They were both in there. And they're going to call it against Danny Santos. That'll be his second on the team. Darian Sanders, the junior, goes to the line.
Coach Masto, little upset about that call when at the other end there was no call.
I don't know if it was a foul or not, but there was a good amount of contact down there.
Yeah.
2 for 2 at the line goes Sanders. Leads up to 10 for Mansfield, under 2 minutes.
Franklin has to score this possession.
Sullivan going to the cup. He can't finish. Rebound Gutowskis.
Those are the shots that have been killing him. I don't even know how many of those layups head roll in and out.
And now there's going to be a foul called here against Mansfield, so the Panthers are going to go to the line. Katauskas just got called for his 4th foul. And that's big for the Panthers against Katauskas, because now if you get another rush up the other way and if they keep Katauskas in, he's probably not going to go 100%.
Yeah.
First free throw will work for Danny Santos, leads everybody on Franklin. And that's his first point here of the 4th quarter. Go 2 for 2 to make it an 8-point game. 1:39 to go. Double team in effect again. Crowley tried to get a poke at the ball, and that's going to be stolen there by Santos. Santos pushing it, head Crowley. Santos wants to do it himself. High floater, won't fall. Ball loose, and it went out of bounds. But who did it go off of?
Saying off of Mansfield. I thought that hit the bottom of the backboard, which is inbounds. Must have hit something, one of the parts of the stanchion.
Yeah, maybe the pole that's behind it. 3-possession game. Here's Samuels over to Skasha, defended by McIntyre. Skasha right side. Jack Sullivan spinning his way in the paint. Shot's good.
Nice shot. 6-point lead here for Mansfield.
Crowley's now got to race on back. That's a high pass over. Balone has to bring it out. They'll go up top to McIntyre.
Mastel is looking for a foul.
Katauskas pokes. Skasha almost got the steal. There's a lane here for Sanders. He goes up and in over Santos.
Less than a minute.
Got to go quick here if you're Franklin. Santos left side driving in on Sanders. Poke at the ball. Balone with the save. Open man down the court. Villette unable to control it cleanly.
He was looking at dunking that ball. That's why.
He was.
Took his eyes off it.
Throws a little bit behind. And Santos going to let it dribble just a little bit to save as much time as they can. We're down to 35. Nice take by Sullivan. It was up to 13. Timeout called here by the Panthers.
Masco.
That's their final one.
Yeah.
A 6-point game, 31.3 on the clock.
It's great to see these two teams play each other because they're always fun games. Some of them can be very physical, like rock fights. Others just scoring galore. Both teams can really play a lot of different ways. And these teams, for whatever reason, over the years have brought out the best in each other.
These two schools pretty much separated by 10 to 15 minutes, so always good to have this kind of game whenever you get a chance to.
Yeah.
Two teams met at Mansfield last year, which Franklin took that one 54 to 47. That was another kind of lowish scoring game. And now the question's going to be here for Coach Masto out of this timeout. You got 2 fouls to give, and then the third one is going to be shooting 2 for Mansfield. When do you use those fouls? Do you do a double team first? Do you wait until they get over midcourt? That's going to be the question.
I think if you're going to use them, you got to use them right away. You really can't afford for time to be off the clock. And looked like they tried to get it there unsuccessfully.
Oh, there's a bat, and it's not going to be picked up by the Panthers. Scoring is McIntyre. They had it, though.
That is the story of the night. They got a hand on it.
And Balone is out of bounds here.
Yeah, they got a hand on it, and they couldn't reel the ball in.
Now you're going to get to a situation if Mansfield is smart. If Franklin scores here, you just use up 4.5 seconds before inbounding. There's Justice Samuels down low to put it in. And see, look, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Now they're going to go to the side. There's a foul by Sullivan.
Both teams, Franklin and Mansfield, their coaches have coached their kids to look up at the clock. You know, if there's no time left, don't even pick the ball up. Both of these teams are tremendously coached.
And they won't get the foul. That's going to do it. The Mansfield Hornets extend their win streak to 7 games. They win here tonight against Franklin. That ends their 4-game winning streak. 48-42 is the final. Mansfield goes to 9-4 on the season. Franklin heads to 8-5.
Yeah, just a fun game. Both teams are always fun to watch. It was great to be able to watch the first Mansfield Franklin game that Mike Masto is the head coach of. It's kind of brought him into this whole rivalry and everything. So a lot of fun. Keegan, great job tonight. Appreciate it. I want to thank everybody who's watched, and most importantly, I want to thank cameraman Chris. And he is our producer, our director, our everything. So for Chris, Keegan Hamblett, and I'm Jay Horrigan, we're going to bid you good night from Franklin TV. We'll see you.